Loki's arrival in the mortal realm did not begin in the grand way she had imagined. As soon as she set foot among humans, the goddess tried to gather followers using her favorite method: exaggerated compliments, bold pick-up lines, and a charm she believed to be irresistible. However, her attempts were met with cold refusals, scornful glances, and even open repulsion. Each rejection reinforced the harsh reality that the mortal world did not bow easily, and that her reputation as an eccentric deity only made everything more difficult. Sitting before the town square fountain, surrounded by playing children and villagers watching her with suspicion, Loki finally understood that she had begun her journey in the worst possible scenario. Preblica, the village where she decided to settle, was peaceful, self-sufficient, and little interested in seeking divine protection. The sturdy walls and active trade made the presence of blessed adventurers unnecessary, leaving her without real opportunities to form her much-desired family. As she reflected on her mistakes, believing that choosing an isolated spot for fun had been a terrible choice, something unexpected happened. A boy crossed the crowd toward her. Small, with bright blonde hair and a spear wrapped in fabric larger than himself, he walked with the calm of someone who knew exactly where he should be. His blue eyes carried an unusual firmness for someone so young-looking. Before her, this boy analyzed her, as if confirming a mysterious feeling, an instinct that only he seemed to understand. Without hesitation, he announced that he wished to join the family she hadn't even managed to found. The direct request surprised Loki, who until then had only collected contempt. The boy exuded self-confidence and displayed a sharp, almost provocative personality, unlike all the mortals she had approached up to that moment. Intrigued, Loki recognized an unusual gleam in him. Despite his calm demeanor, the boy conveyed intelligence, boldness, and something deeper, a silent determination that surpassed his fragile appearance. When he asked her name, he heard the answer that would change the course of his descent into the mortal world: Findame. At that moment, Loki realized that, despite the chaotic beginning and the failed attempts, he had found, by pure chance, a follower who seemed perfectly aligned with her. And that encounter would mark the beginning of a partnership that would transform not only the goddess's life, but also the destiny of an entire forgotten race. From a moment the first signs that something was wrong began to repeat themselves, the atmosphere changed completely. The protagonist could no longer ignore it. Each new detail revealed that the situation was bigger than it seemed. People close to him began to act strangely. Conversations were interrupted when he approached, and important decisions were being made without anyone explaining why. It was no longer a coincidence, it was a pattern. And the more he sought to understand, the more he realized that he was surrounded by answers that no one wanted to give. The climate of distrust increased when contradictory information emerged, bringing the feeling that someone was deliberately hiding the truth. The tension grew with every step. What had once been just a doubt turned into a silent investigation, where every look and every action carried possible clues. The story began to take shape before him, and even without knowing exactly what he was looking for, he already understood that, from then on, nothing would be simple. The path was laid out, and the revelation inevitable. When the pieces finally began to fit together, the impact was immediate. The truth didn't emerge in a grand way. It came silently, through details that had previously seemed irrelevant, but now formed a complete picture. Everything they were trying to hide made sense, and the revelation showed not only what was really happening, but also why everyone seemed so concerned about keeping the protagonist away. The secret was too big, too dangerous, and now was directly in his hands. The initial shock gave way to unexpected clarity. It no longer mattered who had tried to block, manipulate, or distort things. He finally understood what he needed to do. The doubt that had accompanied every step up to this point disappeared as the story closed before his eyes. It wasn't the ending he expected. It was bigger, more complex, and much deeper. And although the truth carried its own weight, it also brought the final point he had been seeking from the beginning. In the end, the entire journey takes on a clearer meaning. Each event led the protagonist to see his own limits and to realize that the answers he sought were less in the mysteries surrounding him and more in how he dealt with them. The tension, which had previously accompanied him, like a constant shadow, transforms into clarity. The path doesn't necessarily become easier, but he finally understands that he is prepared to move forward, carrying only what truly matters, not the weight of what he has lived through, but the strength of what he has learned.